Welcome back to another small business vlog. I think we're on episode 2 and I filmed all these clips sporadically and it's been, I think, over a month at this point. I was aiming for monthly, but things have been so crazy, which feels very on brand for a small business. So I figured throw it together, turn it into a vlog, and I'm sure you guys will get the gist of it. So here we go. I'm in the Waymo right now, got matcha in hand, and I'm about to head to Suwa, which is I don't know how to describe it. It's like a cafe with a focus on Asian brands and Asian food and Asian flavors. And I love it because it's kind of got this fusion vibe that I feel like I really enjoy and love to incorporate into like my recipes. But obviously the owners are Asian and they really champion Asian founders. So anyway, we're having a meeting today and I'm so excited. Steph, she's like the most beautiful woman. She reached out about potentially having Frauth in the store, which I think would be awesome because as of right now, we don't have any retail locations in LA. We only have one in New York at Bonberry, and none of them have the new Hana Matcha yet. So I'm gonna drop this off, we're gonna have a little meeting, and hopefully you will find us in Suwa. It's in Larchmont Village. And then after the meeting, I will check in with you guys because I have a couple of updates. It's been a little while since I've been able to vlog about the business. Home with some goodies from Swa. They actually have some amazing vegan friendly options there, and I would describe it almost like an Asian Erewhon hot bar situation. They have this amazing prepared food section and everything about the store has a little bit of like an Asian touch to it, so it's just got a little bit more flavor, if you know what I mean, than like your typical Erewhon or prepared food options here in LA. We have roasted banana chia pudding. This is just breakfast items. This one is another vanilla chia pudding. And this is one of my personal favorites, sesame noodles. This one's vegan. It's got like cucumber, purple cabbage, lots of veggies. So I think I'm gonna have that for lunch today. But I have a feeling by the time you see this video, because I take notoriously long to edit, you will be able to grab Frauth matcha tins at Swa. And I think we're talking about doing an event too. So if you live in LA, stay tuned. It's been a while since we've done an event Frauth-wise. So I'm excited. You know, I have to say one of the best parts about being now a founder of a small brand or small business is that I can work with my friends in different ways than I used to be able to. You know, before I could offer like my influencer services, I guess, or photography or like content creation. And now I feel like we can actually create new products together with both of our products. And it's just really fun. And I'm grateful to be in this new space and new era of life and business, I guess. Anyway, let's head home. We'll have some lunch. We're home and we're gonna have the sesame noodles from Swa. I just added some high protein tofu. So this is about like 25 grams of protein just to make it more of a complete meal. It looks so good. We are heading back to Larchmont Village. I'm about to drop off 12 boxes of the Hana Matcha. This will be our first ever retail location in LA. It is pouring buckets right now, by the way. The rain is so terrible. So I'm supposed to also take some photos of the tins in the store so we can promote it on social, but hopefully we have enough light. I'm a little worried about it. There's almost like no sun in the sky, basically. So that's the update, but it all happened very quickly and I'm so excited about it. Yeah, we haven't had a retail location yet in LA, so can't wait. I'm excited to see how it goes. I got caught up on a few calls, lots of calls actually, which are definitely a big part of this business. And then something really exciting but silly came in. So I'm gonna show you that and then we'll get cozy and chat. Before that though, I just need to make a couple of heart ice cubes because tomorrow I'm shooting some content for the socials and Valentine's Day is coming up. Let me grab the ice and show you. You wouldn't think that making ice is a big part of owning a matcha brand, but it is because having aesthetic ice for videos is very useful. And it's so funny because whenever I think to film a video, it's like I never have the foresight to prep the ice in advance. So I just decided, because I know I'm filming a bunch of content coming up, I'm just gonna make a bunch of cute ice. Like, look at how adorable and tiny this ice cube is. These remind me of like the centimeter counting cubes that we'd use in elementary school. So we've got the tiny ice cubes, which I need to make more of, obviously. We also have tiny heart ice cubes. These melt very quickly, so you kind of can't really tell that they're heart ice cubes, but I know, and that's all that matters. And then these are fun. I need to refill these, and these are the ones that I want to use. They're actually, I think, chocolate molds from like Michael's or maybe Target, and they're like Valentine's Day themed. And they're also hearts, but you can see better on this one. They have little messages like be mine, XOXO. The thing about ice is it melts very quickly and you always need to prep more than you think you need. And then this is just basic heart ice, which I'm also going to fill up and make sure I have plenty of. Carefully place the filled ice cube trays back into the freezer. All right, now I'm gonna show you guys something that I know you're not ready for, because I was not ready for this and I knew it was coming. So I had this idea to make a giant Frauth matcha tin for marketing purposes. I have a couple of video ideas that I want to play around with, and I figured we could also use it as a prop for events and stuff like that. This is what it looks like. And the dimensions are slightly off. You know, our Frauth tins are a little bit wider and flatter, but for the purpose of just messing around, it's fine. It'll do. The only difficulty now is that the tin is actually really quite big. So big that I can't really fit my arms around it like a hug, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to pick it up myself. Right now it's living on my staircase because I simply don't know where else I can put it. See, it's not that heavy. It's just hard to move. So it's just gonna stay here for a little while, and I'll figure out a better home for it tomorrow. I feel like the small business vlogs are always a lot of yapping, but it's because there's nowhere else where I can share this stuff and the behind the scenes. I don't really feel like social media is necessarily always the most appropriate place because it's not interesting to the majority of people. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. But I'm currently in bed because it's been a long day. After having my meeting with Steph at SWA, we'll have a couple tins on the shelves, which I'm really excited about because I just feel like it makes it easier for anyone who lives in LA if you ever need matcha in a pinch. There have been times where I wished I could find some of my favorite matcha brands on shelves instead of online, because when you run out, it's desperate times. You gotta have your matcha every day, you know, and I understand that. So I'm really excited. Even better that we get to work with another small business, and obviously an Asian woman owned one as well. But now I feel like we should talk about what's been going on. As I film this, it is early February and it feels like things are finally getting back to normal, whatever that really means. In case you're not aware, there were some crazy fires that were burning in LA in January. And it was a really odd feeling because on the one hand, I was far enough away that I didn't feel like I was impacted. And then all of a sudden, a fire started very close to my house, and I, within a couple minutes, became part of an area that needed to evacuate. It kind of makes you realize when there's a natural disaster or something terrible or tragic that happens anywhere else in the world, it is truly hard to empathize because you're not going through it. We have lives and we have things we have to do. We have jobs to go to. It's human, you know? It was a different kind of experience where all of a sudden I felt like, wow, every time I've heard about wildfires in other states or countries or floods or hurricanes, it's hard to really understand and empathize until it happens to you. Obviously I'm filming this and I'm in my home, so I am okay, and my house is too, but a lot of people that I know personally aren't so lucky, and for them, even though the fires have now finally been put out, it's not just over. It's the start of a very, very long journey to rebuild. So that's still kind of in the air. I think the beautiful thing about that happening was that so many people came together immediately. You know, I had friends that were in warning and evacuation zones and still spent their days volunteering wherever they could, helping others out, and it was quite a weird time. I think in hindsight, you know, I kind of expected everyone to understand the magnitude of these fires. If you can picture in your head the size of Manhattan, the entire Manhattan, that was the size of one of the fires that we had burning, the Palisades fire. When I say big fires, I really, really mean it. And during that first initial week, I think I just expected everyone to understand how big things were and how bad things were here. And so I also spent all my time volunteering because it just didn't feel right to go about life normally. You know, it's like every time I would do something, I'd be like, who gives a fuck about emails? Like, people are dying, homes are burning, you know? I just like, it was just so impossible to settle my mind and not feel frantic. And so volunteering felt like the right thing to do. It kept me busy, it kept me with other people, and partly because of that, and also because the Frauth office is located somewhere that was basically in a warning zone the entire time the fires were burning. We had to pause operations, and it was bad timing because we had also just come back from holidays and we had outstanding orders, and for the most part I think we handled everything. We only got a couple of really nasty DMs from people that were super upset, and I just explained to them, you know, we haven't even had a chance to send out a newsletter or an email or anything like that because everything happened so quickly. So if you are one of the people who experienced delays with your matcha, I am truly so sorry. We tried our best to right the wrongs by upgrading all the shipping to priority as soon as we were able to get back into office. And I'm still trying to figure out how best to reach all of our audience because as much as I can share updates on social media, I realize not everybody uses social media. So it's a work in progress, but thank you as always for your patience with us as a small business and one that was definitely impacted by the fires. A thought that came up for me during that time too was that I wish we could be one of those brands that donated proceeds for the day or the week to LA fire relief. But to be frank with you guys, we truly are a small business and we just weren't in that position, especially after all the delays we experienced before this restock upon us. So it's something that I hope to do in the future, in the near future, and I know we will. But in the meantime, I think we have a lot to figure out in terms of just getting business up and running smoothly and figuring out how best to do things. It is about 9:30 now, and I try to go through the Frauth Instagram account as many times as possible during the day. We are at a whopping 7,004 followers right now. It's pretty good. I'm happy with that. A lot of people don't realize it. Obviously, Frauth is not my full-time job. I think you guys know that if you're watching this YouTube video and you've been following the channel, but a lot of people I think don't realize that Frauth is not my full-time job. And not only that, but I have Matcha Mommy, I have Veggiekins, I have all those accounts on every other platform as well, newsletter. It really is a full-time job. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say it's a difficult job to be a content creator, but there is a lot of coordination that goes on, especially when you run a business account. I feel like it's very different. What's funny though is that the Matcha Mommy account actually has a decent following on TikTok, and I think it's cool how some people will come up to me in public and recognize me as Matcha Mommy and not as Veggiekins, and I'm like, wow. It makes me feel like even though it's like my side project and just for fun, that it does have some kind of impact, and it's really cool. Obviously, compared to other influencer brands or just popular matcha brands right now, we don't have the craziest following, and I don't have as great of a network of connections of people that I can just be like, hey, post this matcha. But I'm genuinely really happy with the way that things are going and our growth as a small business. I've also been so incredibly happy with all of the partnerships we've done, like collaborations with small businesses and women-owned ones and vegan ones. Such a rewarding feeling. It's not about the number of followers we have on social media or the amount of sales we're doing. It's a really, really rewarding feeling. So for that alone, I'm so grateful. I'm just going through our tags and mentions and then call it a night for today on the Frauth side. I still have some editing to do on the Veggiekins side, or a lot of editing actually. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for a heart-shaped matcha latte. Good morning. We are gonna make a quick matcha latte, and in an effort not to waste matcha, I'm gonna make it for a photo that I need to take with the heart ice cubes that we made yesterday. And then I'm gonna drink it. We got our Frauth whisking. This is gonna look kind of crazy because it is, but I'm gonna put the ice cubes in a bowl and the matcha in here so it's a flat surface, so I can take one of those shots of like ice cubes. And then I'll pour it into a container and then we gotta go. And then to cool down the matcha so the ice doesn't all melt, I'm gonna first add milk to it, which I don't usually do, but for shoots I do. And now matcha in. This probably seems so unhinged, but I'm giving you the cheat code right now to getting those nice ice photos. If you ever see them, this is how you do it, or this is a smart way to do it in my opinion. So here's what the photo looks like, and then crop it in and you wouldn't even know it's in a bowl. But this is a trick that I learned from a food stylist when I was shooting my cookbook, and I think we got the shot. I'm accidentally on my third matcha latte of the day. I'm feeling absolutely wired. It's not good, but we are heading over to the office right now to go pick up 50 tins of Frauth matcha and a couple of refills because we're gonna be doing an event and I need to get that delivered to somewhere in Orange County. I'm also so excited because yesterday I reached out to 2 influencers that I follow that don't follow me. It's not like we're mutual friends or anything. And I just wanted to see if I could send them Frauth. No obligations, obviously. I feel like there's no guarantee when you're gifting someone, but I'm just excited for them to try it and want them to really enjoy it. So that's really cool. Speaking of TikTok, something that's really interesting is I posted this carousel about just the brand in general and kind of sharing like the story of why it took so long to bring Frauth to life and what that whole process was. And the post did so well on TikTok, but what was hilarious was I had a lot of people commenting things like, when is it available? When is it launching? And I'm just like, girl, it has been launched for a while. Here's my takeaway from that and my little TED talk for you. If you're working on something cool, tell people about it and talk about it all the time. On social media, when you post something, it's not always seen by everyone, and with the new algorithm changes and just our attention spans of like tapping through things so quickly, just because you post about it doesn't mean anyone's going to know you're doing it. And I think the whole letting the product speak for itself thing is a little bit outdated, because truly, if you believe in your product and you believe it's good, tell people. You don't have to do the most with marketing, and you can let the product speak for itself to a degree, but you have to share what you're doing. You have to market yourself and the hard work that you're doing. A friend of mine was on a podcast recently, and I saw that episode, and in that podcast, essentially the message was the same. If you are willing to put your time and energy into working on something and you think it's worth it and it's valuable, you might as well tell people that you're doing it too. Being heads down and just doing the work is not always going to be enough, unfortunately. Like, you as an entrepreneur are the creative director, the logistics coordinator, the content creator, the marketing team. You know, it's so important to talk about your wins, especially, and I still have a hard time talking about my matcha brand, believe it or not. A lot of the times other friends of mine will talk about it for me. Like, if we meet someone new and they ask me a question about matcha or ask me what I do, half the time it's my friends telling them, oh, she has a matcha brand, by the way. And that's like a mental hurdle that I need to overcome. So I'm gonna work on it, but if you too are like that, you should work on it too. Here's how the photos turned out. Super cute on the pink background, shot from above. And then these are actually my favorite. Oh, stunning, right? So I just edited these. I'm gonna edit a video now. We've got like 10 minutes left on the ride. Hi guys. It's been a minute since I've checked into this vlog, but since we last talked, we had a show on event, which was incredible. We had the matcha pastries, so good. I honestly didn't vlog any of it because it was so hectic and you guys really showed up, so I didn't have a second to even film anything. I barely have any photos, but it was amazing. And since we last talked, we have opened up our refill packs to everyone because, as I'm sure you guys know, there's a bit of a high demand for matcha right now. A lot of brands are sold out. We're just sold out of our tins, specifically, like the tin itself. And we ideally wanted the refills to only be available to everyone who's already purchased a tin. That way you have something to put it in, but we just don't know when we're gonna have the tins. Like, there's so much going on right now politically and like with tariffs, and it's making it super hard to source things. So for the time being, we're opening up the refills to everyone. Just put it in a proper container and you can have your froth. This way we don't have to be sold out, because I know personally my day would be awful if I had to run out of matcha and be sold out of it, or not have it for like days and days and days. And then even more exciting, we're now being sold actually at Frauth, but at the matcha bar itself. So when you order a drink, any kind of matcha drink, it's going to be made with Frauth. We're going to go get one right now. This is also due to like the shortages and the fact that they ran out of the matcha that they typically use. So I don't know how long this is going to be happening, but by the time you see this vlog, don't wait, go in and get it, because I have a feeling it's also going to run out fairly quickly. People just love matcha these days, and it's not slowing down. So we're gonna go grab a drink. It's so fun that I can actually go into a location in LA and grab a latte made with Frauth, and it's the only location in the US or anywhere at the moment that you can do that. So head to Frauth, it's really cute, grab a drink, let me know what you think. I'm gonna try to post this vlog really fast so that you guys can actually go and get it while it's in stock. And I'll talk to you in a bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was definitely the most chaotic, and I'm about to film the third one because I have so much to say about everything that's happening to me today. We're gonna talk all things matcha shortage, tariffs, and how that is definitely going to be impacting matcha, and why it's a blessing and a curse for a small business to be sold out of matcha, and also why it takes so much time to restock. Lots of yapping because I'm in a Waymo right now and I have 27 minutes, so we're just gonna yap the whole way there, and I have a lot to say. I'll see you in that episode. As always, don't forget to download the free matcha ebook guide if you're new to matcha. It has so much information and covers all the basics. And if you haven't already, you can follow Frauth on Instagram. That's where I share updates the most quickly, definitely. I'll see you in the next one. It's gonna be a good one.